Congratulations, you have clicked on a video that in the worst case scenario can save your life. We have all thought at some point about what would happen if zombies existed and how we would act. That is why I'm going to show you exactly what you have to do to survive the first 24 hours of the zombie apocalypse. Imagine the chaos that ensues when the first whispers of a zombie apocalypse spread like wildfire through the streets. Panic-stricken individuals rush to the nearest supermarkets and stores, envisioning these places as their salvation from the impending doom. However, amidst the frenzy and the stampede of desperate souls, one crucial piece of advice emerges like a beacon of hope in the darkness. Do not go to the supermarkets or stores. Head straight to the logistics distribution centers. Why, you may ask? Well, supermarkets and stores are the obvious choices for many in times of crisis, but they are also the most crowded and chaotic places you could find yourself in. Picture the scene. Aisles packed with frightened people fighting over the last scraps of canned goods, shelves stripped bare within minutes, and the constant threat of becoming trapped or overwhelmed by the panicked masses. Now, contrast that with the logistics distribution centers. These are the hidden hubs of civilization, the arteries through which goods flow to sustain our society. In the first frantic hours of a zombie apocalypse, these centers are likely to be deserted by the general public, overlooked in favor of more obvious shelters. Yet, they are treasure troves of essential supplies: food, water, medical supplies, and much more, all neatly organized and ready for distribution. By bypassing the crowded supermarkets and heading straight to these logistics centers, you're not only avoiding the chaos and danger of the masses, but also giving yourself a far better chance of securing the resources you need to survive. Picture yourself walking through the vast warehouses, shelves stocked high with provisions, and not a soul in sight. It's a stark contrast to the frantic scenes playing out elsewhere, and one that could mean the difference between life and death. It took me a lot to make this video. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and like this video. Logistics centers, typically overlooked in the frantic scramble for supplies, can hold untapped resources crucial for survival, including weapons. Picture this. Within the vast expanse of a logistics center lie not only food and medical supplies, but also shipments of goods bound for various destinations, including firearms for security purposes or self-defense. These weapons might be stored securely, waiting to be distributed to their intended recipients. So, how does one go about obtaining weapons from a logistics center? It requires a combination of resourcefulness, diplomacy, and perhaps a touch of daring. First and foremost, it's essential to approach the situation with a peaceful mindset. Violence should always be a last resort, especially when dealing with potential allies who may hold the keys to your survival. One strategy could involve seeking out the managers or supervisors of the logistics center and presenting your case in a calm and respectful manner. Explain the dire circumstances of the outside world, the looming threat of the undead, and your need for means to defend yourself and others. Maybe offer to work together, pooling resources and skills to survive in that moment. Alternatively, if direct negotiation proves challenging or unsuccessful, one might consider a more covert approach. This could involve infiltrating the logistics center under the cover of darkness, utilizing stealth and cunning to locate and secure the desired weapons. However, this route carries significant risks and should only be undertaken as a last resort when all peaceful options have been exhausted. But let's go back to the most basic thing. I hope the first thing you did was call your family. The goal is simply to get home. If you live in the suburbs of your city and not in the center, you must stay at home the first day. This is non-negotiable. The first day you are aware that zombies exist, it is very likely that the virus is already quite widespread and with it chaos in the city. And no, you are not the only one to realize that zombies exist. Here most people will want to escape the city, but you have to be smarter and think unlike everyone else. Stay home and wait for the chaos to pass. With the internet likely to be unreliable or inaccessible as infrastructure collapses, you must be prudent and take proactive measures. By downloading and printing maps of your state and country at home, you can secure essential navigational resources, because not many people nowadays have maps in their homes. With these physical maps, survivors can meticulously plot secondary escape routes from their current location, strategizing paths that avoid densely populated areas overrun by the undead. Moreover, identifying destinations with lower population density and potentially greater access to weapons per capita becomes crucial for long-term survival. By leveraging printed maps to plan these escape routes, you can maximize your chances of reaching safer havens or regions with resources conducive to fortification and defense. However, the efficacy of this strategy hinges on the availability of printing equipment or just funding a map in the next hours. With the specter of dwindling resources looming overhead, you must seize the fleeting window of opportunity to stockpile as much potable water as humanly possible while electricity and running water still flow. Every hour counts, and every gallon gathered could mean the difference between hydration and desperation in the days to come. Staying informed is paramount in the tumultuous landscape of a zombie apocalypse, and in today's interconnected world, information can be a lifeline. Beyond traditional sources like radio broadcasts and TV news, social media platforms like X can serve as invaluable tools for tracking developments in your area. By tapping into these digital networks, survivors can glean real-time updates on outbreak hotspots, potential evacuation routes, and even first-hand accounts from fellow citizens. This access to localized information without the need to physically venture into danger zones allows for strategic decision-making from the safety of one's own shelter, empowering survivors to stay ahead of the curve and adapt to rapidly evolving circumstances. However, this reliance on social media comes with its own set of challenges, including the spread of misinformation information and the risk of falling victim to online scams or hoaxes. Therefore, you must exercise discernment and cross-reference information from multiple sources to verify its accuracy and relevance. By maintaining a critical eye and a healthy skepticism, you can harness the power of social media as a valuable tool in your survival arsenal, using it to navigate the chaos of the apocalypse without putting yourself in danger. You have to take advantage of all the great things technology offers you until the system collapses. You have to think carefully about what to do. These are just tips. No one knows your situation better than you, and that is why you must trust your instinct on what to do. But now is your turn. What do you think is the essential thing to do in the first 24 hours? I will read you in the comments.